I'm assuming by the quiet that you're still working.
Yes.
You got that sheet of paper about fresh. So there's an extra laying up here. Okay.
Yay. Did you have to tap the board?
Say what?
I was going to tap the board.
All right, how we coming?
Not there.
Not there. All right, let me grab my chart. You want to look at what you got?
Wait.
What number you want? Just wait.
Wait, you can go.
Okay, go ahead. All right, so we look at the first. All right. What can you tell me about aluminum bromide?
It's a compound.
So what do we have to do?
Write it with this oxidation.
Okay, so we have to use the oxidation number. So aluminum is Al, bromine is Br. So we have to look up its oxidation number. So Xavier, you said you had trouble this last night. So what are the oxidation numbers for aluminum? Okay, what's the oxidation number for Br? Okay, so what are we going to do with that 3 and that 1? Okay, so 3's coming down here, 1's coming down here. Plus lithium oxide. We're going to do the same thing because it's a compound. So lithium is Li, oxygen is O. Look up the oxidation numbers. Okay, oxygen is a. Okay, so the 2's coming down, the 1's coming down. All right, now, the reason I wrote them there is for the other side, they're the same. We don't have to look them up again. All right, so lithium bromide. So lithium was a 1, bromine's a 1. What are those ones going to do to each other? What did we say yesterday? Cancel. I'm not even bringing them down. They cancel out. Plus, we have aluminum oxide. So aluminum and oxygen. So aluminum has a 3, oxygen has a 2. So 2 comes down, 3 comes down. See how we did that? Okay. Nothing in that first one's an element. So do I have to ask myself if anybody gets a 2?
No.
No. Nobody gets a 2 here because nobody's an element. All right. Now, since I'm writing on the board, I can erase the oxidation numbers instead of rewriting. All right. So I don't remember if I said this to y'all yesterday. I know I said it before. It's the second period. Every time you write an equation, what do you always have to do to the equation? Any guesses? I heard it. Balance it. If you write an equation, it has to be balanced. Okay? So, balance the equation. Every time you write an equation, it has to be balanced. Even if I don't say write and balance, if you write an equation, it has to be what?
Balance.
Balanced. Everybody hear Allie yelled that? So you don't have to ask me on a quiz or a test. If you wrote an equation, it has to be balanced. All right? So, what element you want to balance first?
BR.
Okay? How many BRs are here? 3. How many are here? So what are we going to put? Okay. How many LIs do we make? We made 3. How many are here?
2.
Can I get 3?
No.
Okay. So let's not do BR. Pick something else.
LI.
Okay. How many LIs are here?
2.
Am I going to put here?
Oh crap! No, I didn't mean to do that one here.
Okay. Pick something else. Okay. How many O's are here?
3.
What am I going to put here? All right. So we made how many LIs?
6.
Can I make 6 LIs?
Yeah.
Okay. How many BRs did you make?
6.
Can I get 6 BRs?
Yeah. 2.
Okay. How many aluminums do we make?
2.
How many aluminums?
2.
So that's good. Do we feel okay about number 1?
2, 3, 6, 1.
All right. So number 2. Manganese 5 oxide. How do I write manganese 5 oxide?
N plus 5.
Okay. I'm going to put Allie on mute. Okay. Shh. She's muted for the rest of.
But was I wrong?
No.
Okay.
You're not wrong. Okay. She's muted to the end of the opening. Okay. Because she'll talk to me. I need to hear some other voices out here. All right. Zaria, tell me what you know about number 2 because I don't ever hear from you. She's like, oh my God, she called on me. I know you just don't like to speak. It'd be like me calling on my own daughter because she does the exact same thing in class. She will never answer. And then she comes home and rails at me about all these people who will not shut up in class. I'm like, dude, open your own mouth and speak and you won't have to hear these other people. Okay? So, Zaria, tell me what you know about number 2. Mn is fabulous. What's his oxidation number? Fabulous. And what's his oxidation number? Good. And what do we do with those? Yes. Look at that excellent answer. And you're just going to sit back there and be quiet as a church mouse. Xavier, do you understand why Zaria did that? Okay. So, fluorine. What do we know about fluorine? What's its symbol, Serenity? Huh? I know you didn't just say that. What's fluorine's symbol? That's what I thought you said. Okay? So, we have fluorine. It's by itself. So, what do we ask ourselves, Serenity? Is it on one of those? It's one of those 7 we learned yesterday? She's nodding yes. So, what do? We put the 2. Very good. All right. So, Serenity said fluorine's one of those 7. So, we put a what on it? Everybody feel okay about that? All right. So, yield. We get manganese 5 fluoride. So tell me what you know about manganese 5 fluoride, Raylena. Mn? Its oxidation number?
5.
And fluoride is? And its oxidation number? What do you do with them?
You cross.
Everybody feel okay about that?
Yes.
Good. And then it says plus oxygen. What do you know about oxygen, Xavier? All right, it has an oxidation number of 2, but its oxidation number is not important because we're not crisscrossing it. Okay, it's an element by itself. Is it one of those 7? Since you said yes, we put a what on it? You put a 2 on it. Okay, its oxidation number doesn't make any difference to us. All right, so when I get rid of all of these oxidation numbers we used, now what do we want to balance first? What? All right, tell me how many oxygens are here? How many are here? So what you putting here? All right, I changed my color so it stands out a little better. All right, so 2, you made 10. What are you putting here, Janiyah? Okay, so Janiyah made 10 oxygens. How many MNs did you make?
4.
So we're putting what here?
4.
All right, so you made 20 Fs. So you're putting what here? Questions about what Janiyah did to balance? Everybody feel okay about that? All right, last one is just simply a balancing equation. Let me do what Franco was yelling at me about yesterday.
What was he doing?
You want me to put more space in the equation here?
Oh,
So
the homework. There was no space to work on that.
Y'all have paper.
And it was making me angry.
Y'all have
Because
paper.
I was getting happy that I thought I did something. And I was like, oh, wait, I swapped the balance and there's no room to balance.
It's such a crisis.
It is
All right, so how many C's do we have?
6.
So we're going to put what here?
A 6.
Okay. And how many H's?
14.
So you put what here?
A 7.
Okay, now we got to add our O's. So how many O's are here? Plus, how many O's are here?
7.
So that gives you what? 19. She's on mute. Can you tell?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
All right, so if we have 19 O's, how are we going to get 19 right there? So what did I tell you to do yesterday when you got an odd number? Put a 2 at the beginning. All right, so how many C's do we have now? We have 12 C's. So how did I get 12 C's here? There's only one C. So if I want 12, I have to put a what? I have to put a 12. All right, how many H's? Okay, you don't even have to know that because there's 2 here and there's 2 here. So 14 times 2, I need 14 times 2, there's 14 times 2. All right, so we need to add our O's. So for those of you who struggle with that, use a calculator. 2 times 2 is 24, plus 14 times 1 is 14. 24 plus 14 is 38. So we need 38 here. So what number times 2 will give us 38? 19.
Also, I'll leave my calculator in here.
I don't think so. I haven't found an extra.
Okay.
Ms. Thornhill brought back the one she borrowed. Questions? Anybody on the opening before we talk homework? All right, let's do the one that had the 10 through 13 first, and then we'll do the 1 through 3. And these I have to work because I don't have the answers, but the others I just have the answers. All right. So the magnesium bromide.
What?
Magnesium bromide's a compound. So magnesium bromide, you have to write the formula. So 2 and 1, bring your number down. Chlorine is an element. It's one of the 7. Put a 2 on it. Yields magnesium chloride. Put your numbers. Bring your 2 down. Plus bromine. Bromine's one of the 7. Now, once you do that, what do you notice about the equation?
It's already balanced.
It's already balanced. Okay? Zinc is an element.
Wait, am I off of mute now?
Yes.
Okay.
Zinc is an element. Is it one of the 7? You don't do anything to it. Plus hydrochloric acid. And again, if you don't know your 4 acids, you need to know them by tomorrow. You might see one on the quiz. Yields, zinc chloride. Zinc chloride is a compound. 2 and 1, bring your 2 down, plus hydrogen. Hydrogen's an element like zinc was. Is hydrogen one of the 7?
Yes.
You got to put a 2 on it. This one is not balanced. We have 2 chlorines. Let's put a 2 there. 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens. 1 zinc, 1 zinc. There's the first 2 on 10 and 11. Questions? Any questions on 10 and 11? Can I turn the page? And do the last 2. All right, number 12 and 13. Aluminum sulfate is Al with a 3, SO4 with a 2. So bring your 2 and your 3 down. Plus potassium has a 1. Oxalate is C2O4. It has a 2. So I'm bringing the 2 down. Now, oftentimes, like I told you earlier, I'll leave the oxidation numbers there because I don't have to look them up twice when I get to this side because the numbers are already right there for me. So aluminum with oxalate. My aluminum was a 3. My oxalate was a 2. And then potassium was a 1. Sulfate is a 2. Now, if I was doing this for a quiz or a test, what would I do with those oxidation numbers? Would I leave them there? No, I'd erase those and get rid of them. I would not leave the oxidation numbers there. I'd go ahead and erase those so that my equation looks like this. Okay? What do you want to balance first? Because this is a pretty easy one.
C2O4.
Sure. How many we have?
3.
How many we have?
1.
So I'm going to put a 3 there. How many K's did I make?
6.
So I'm going to put a what there?
3.
How many K's did I make?
2.
So we're good there. How many SO4s did I make?
3.
So how many SO4s are there?
3.
So check your aluminums because that's the only one we didn't talk about.
They're right.
So I said this one's a pretty easy one. All right, so the last one. Manganese 7 chloride. So manganese has what oxidation number?
Plus 7.
And chlorine has what?
Minus 1.
So 7 comes down, 1 comes down. Plus nickel 3 carbonate. So nickel has a 3. Carbonate has a 2. Bring my 2 and my 3 down. Yields, what did they put first? Manganese 7. Manganese 7. Carbonate has a 2. And then plus nickel 3. Oops, I don't need parentheses for chlorine. Chloride. All right, so now that I've crisscrossed everybody, get rid of those. And balance. All right, who do we want to balance first?
Teachers, pardon this announcement. Today in our tardy suite, we had 7.4% of the students who were tardy, 62 students. That is unacceptable. Tomorrow, we will be bringing around donuts for the classes that have had no tardies this week.
That will not be us.
That means no unexcused tardies this week. The teachers that are currently in the running for those donuts for first period are Mr. Estrada's class, Mr. Hartley's class, Mr. Lewis JROTC class, Mr. Tate, Waring, Mr. John Wells class, and Mrs. Wicker's class. Please talk to your students about tardies. We will continue to award students and classes that can get to class on time every day. Let's make that a better number tomorrow. Thank you.
Stats.
Y'all know you need to be here on time.
I was making them more like yogurt.
Huh?
I was making them more like yogurt.
Making you more late?
Yeah, I'm making us sit in the cafeteria.
And they're making like the sweeps longer, so you have to stay there
Exactly.
longer, like every day.
Yeah.
So like Potentially, you could probably miss a whole period after long.
I don't know what to tell you about that.
That is
Okay? The only thing that I would say to you about being tardy is this. One day you will have a job. Some jobs don't tolerate tardies very well, and you could lose your job for being late. Beyond that, tardies add up to absences. I'm one of the people who will hold you to the tardy policy, and on day 8, you make up time. So if your tardies add up to 5, and let's just say you've been tardy 20 times, that's how many absences? That's 4 absences. And you've been absent 5 times, that's how many absences? That's 9. That's 2 days you got to make up in an hour and a half a pop. And I don't say that you stayed one afternoon after school until 4:30, that's a day. One afternoon until 4:30, if you got here at 3:30, 60 minutes. You still owe me 30. Okay? It's minute for minute. So in that sense, the tardy's built. Beyond that, I don't care if you're tardy every day of the semester. It does add up. Now, to balance the equation, I don't care about donuts. It's not a motivating factor for me. Okay.
She's like, what class you in? I was like, this class. She's like, oh, she's gonna be mad at her.
I mean, I'll eat a donut if they bring a donut, but it's not a motivating factor for me. But they are usually Krispy Kreme. And she lives in Kernersville. We still wanted one. We're averaging 2 to 3 people tardy most days.
You know what, y'all?
Right though.
I'm gonna figure out
Well,
what
I was sorry, but I was saying.
Well, consider it something to help motivation. Miss Curry does provide donuts on occasion for the classes who do manage to come without tardies regularly. We have not managed to have multiple days without tardies. Now, and I know there are extenuating factors. Some people's parents get off work and bring you to school. You know, some of you just don't get out of bed on time. Okay? I mean, I have my own child who I have trouble getting out of bed. And next year, when my senior daughter leaves for school and he's got to ride with me again, he's got a rough way to go. Because we will get to school on time. Because I will not be late. So he's in for a rough awakening again next year. That or he can ride the yellow taxi. I don't care which. But that would be the bus. Okay? He's got a choice. You got to do what you got to do. And it might have been a legit reason that you were targeting. So when we balance this, when you look at the equation, what would you want to balance first? CO3? All right, so we have 7 and 3. So what are we going to do? A 3, a 7. Whoops, I put them in the wrong places. Don't do that. 7 and 3. So how many MNs you got? And how many you got there?
14.
Okay. So choose which one you want to go. Whoops. Choose which one you want to go to next. Do we want to do the nickels or the MNs? Okay. So how many MNs you got?
6.
All right. So we're gonna put what here?
6.
So how many CLs did you make? 6 times 7. 42. I didn't mean to make it so small. So we need to make 42 CLs. And we have a 3. So anybody remember what 3 times will make 42? 14. And that makes 14 nickels. And you have how many here? 7 times 2 is 14. I didn't mean to shrink it that small and make it hard to see, Sumatra. All right. Everybody good on the one I had to write down? All right. So,
Wait, yeah.
okay. Because I'm going to pull up the one that has the answers that are already typed, which is the 1, 2, and 3. So that one I didn't have the answers typed.
But I did it.
All right. Are we good now?
No.
I'm wrong.
Oh.
Minutes. Or actually, I didn't even got this. Like, we didn't know. Okay. And he was
Did you see any others from our class down there besides you? Is it just you? Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So it's just you.
You're the only one that cost us the donut.
Wouldn't it matter? She said all week. We had people tardy yesterday.
I'm just kidding. I really don't care. I'm better without one more donut.
Right.
I'll find a way to make up the calories.
Don't y'all run it like volleyball or something?
Yeah, but still, that doesn't like do enough to help.
Is that 1, 2, and 3 there?
Yeah.
I hope I picked the right sheet. Ammonium sulfide. Clearly, that's not ammonium sulfide.
I got so mad because I was looking for
There it is.
ammonium everywhere, and then I realized that was a polyatomic ion. I was so mad.
All right, there's 1, 2, and 3.
Those are the answers?
Yeah.
Dang.
1, 2, and 3.
Are we learning new things today?
Yep, 2.
Oh.
Telling types and predicting products. The double displacement I can live with not getting to, but 3 and 4 we got to do. Let me see your homework. How are we doing on those 2?
Perfect. Oh wait, I need to see if I hit.
All right, let's do 5 and 7 real quick. Okay, let's do 5 and 7, and then we're gonna move on. That way, if you need help, I can see what the problem is, and if you don't need help, that would be just fabulous. If you need to do it together, that's fine. I thought you were doing it alone and asked me for help if you need help.
Yes.
5 and 7.
5 and 7.
Good idea, Miss Wall. No,
What's wrong? I know you're in a bad mood over there today,
I
but
don't want to.
we're only doing 2, and then we're gonna move on to types.
I'll do it for you.
Thank you for being cooperative. I appreciate that. You lost your oxidation sheet.
I don't know where this appeared.
Maybe you left it home when you were doing your homework last night.
Perhaps. This is the orange thing.
It's blue.
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah, I used to use green too, but
5 and 7.
I got tired of people telling me it was insensitive to tell people to get out of the green. So I stopped.
You should have made it pink.
Pink slip.
I'll think about it. Yep.
That looks fun.
Platinum.
You should probably stop at one chair that won't roll anymore because there's so much hair in the wheels.
Oh, yes. How do these people's hair just be cotton full?
PG. You'd never be surprised. I'm glad. I can show you on my phone the picture of hair when I took the tennis balls off and have to pull the hair off at the end of the year.
Miss Wall.
Yeah, because I put the tennis balls back on in August, because otherwise it sticks in the wax. So they redo the floors, and then I just have hair stuck in the wax. It's a pile that's about this big. Oh, I wear gloves. I'm not pulling it off with my bare hands. Nobody else will loan me their hands, so I should do it myself.
Did you act?
Did I ask? Yeah, I asked my kids. They said no, Mom. They will put the clean tennis balls back on the desk. You got everything right.
Kayla.
Oh, okay. Okay. You're almost there. So, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Actually, didn't
You can't put one there either.
Okay, now she messed up and then I can actually do the problem.
Should do. If that's confusing you, maybe write your PT a little closer to your CL, so there's not as much space. You don't think you write it. Okay, and then put your Greek like that. Okay, see, because you're not as tempted. See, you put that one right there in the middle, that one out. Get that one out. That one out. Yeah, leave in the
3, 4, 3.
okay, all that's what I
Wait, you have to solve
Okay,
them
and it's now right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, how we coming? We done?
No.
You only have 2 questions. No choke to death over there.
Okay, well,
We didn't even get food or drink.
A little sliver of space.
I think my birthday's
What?
I have no first aid skills. Don't choke.
No.
Anybody had Allied Health 1 or 2 in here?
You know when you feel like, oh no, Molly was in there.
Who was in there? Right here. Man, they was in there. No sense. You're one of the reasons we're getting no donuts.
They probably ain't finna get y'all no name brand donuts. They finna get y'all back from Walmart.
They usually Krispy Kreme.
For real?
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know if I'm doing all right.
They are just like, you're not getting those sprinkles dropped.
Hold on, let me show you what it looks like when you come.
I said
Yesterday I was
5 and
on
7. A little bit extra 6.
I heard you say 5 when I assumed.
It's six number 4. I was that
I hate the emphasis, so I'm gonna get enough emphasis over here.
So did I write this right before I try to solve it?
But yeah.
Now, if you're doing one and it will not balance, does that tell you?
You did it.
Correct. Yours will not balance.
So I didn't, you could have just said, I don't do it.
It is the last one you wrote, the copper nitrate.
They're both fun.
Are they from you? Are they? The nitrates, yeah, it is. They're all both one, so it's my fault.
So I'm right.
Yes, I was thinking nitrates. You're good.
Let's
I'll say
go.
what you're good.
I'm muy intelligent.
You are.
Ew.
You stop rolling before I have more hair, so I'm gonna share.
Yeah, no.
Was that the right word?
Yeah.
It was? Okay. I thought you just made one up.
Ask Miss B about me. No, ask Miss B about me.
It's stupid over real
Ask her
words.
about me.
My husband keeps telling the dog, she's stupid. Only I'm like, my daughter corrected him and said, you need to say la stupido. Since it's a female dog, I'm like, it's stupid over real words. Y'all just make it up work with the dog.
It's not, it's Alice. Yeah.
Else,
Or a girl.
that's stupido. Okay.
No,
I say else stupido. I'm like, y'all are making up Spanish words for the dog
I'm
now.
like Allie in Spanish class.
I hate it when they talk out loud because I have such an accent.
So does my daughter. She cannot speak Spanish at all. So what word
that my husband used with his dog?
It's a girl, right?
Yes.
That's what.
Yes,
dog
stupid.
name is?
If we're gonna insult the dog, we need to get the right Spanish word.
I say stupid, else.
I cannot enunciate, but at least we can get the right word. Okay, what word were you
How you
using?
say stupid? It's-
Okay, where'd you get the same?
It's stupid.
That's a 4. That's a 4. Alright, so the other one, these twos, we don't put it there at all. Alright, so they're not by themselves, so we don't
Yeah.
do 2. Alright?
Yeah.
So, no twos. The observation number 4,
You were there forever.
Well, honestly, I didn't
because you're the last.
That's what I'm saying. They keep doing that. If you got more,
Okay.
you say no.
That's a 3.
Right, look at like, I just got the quote on them. Right.
I didn't want their scores to go down because they have people miss their whole first period.
They're worried about punishing us for tardies, but.
And then she's adding time.
They didn't even think about why are we be late? Why?
Cause.
Right.
We're staying up late home.
Right, and school starts too early.
Definitely.
That's a-
8:20.
All of that stuff is important too, guys. You gotta learn to get to school on time.
I got her at
8:30.
Alright, let's look at some answers.
And then we came in.
Man, I'm walking from my car. Somebody told me that it was a blocker. I said, man, I turned
Mine's
around. I went
just
back to my
not
car. I
right.
was sitting there for a second. I even sat in my car. It still was in that phone. So that don't even make no sense.
Alright, 1, 2, 3. Alright, that should take care of the ones I asked for, I think. Did I get all the ones I asked for uncovered? I know Michaela did 4,
Oh, it's right there.
so that should take care of her 4. I asked for 5. There's 6, and there should be 7. Because I asked for what, 5 and 7? So the 2 I asked for should be uncovered. So see how you did. Some of you probably did do the wrong numbers, which is why I uncovered several. Okay?
What?
I am a G. That's how I feel.
How would I change?
What's wrong? Zyra, what's wrong? You're looking at that like, what the? You're confused where? What did you do? You what? I can't look at it if you already erased it. Oops. That's the 3, 2, 4, 4. You see that first one? Yes. Use phosphate instead of nitrate. Oops. Yeah, you gotta pick the right polyzone guy. It would probably balances. See these 2 2s right here that you did not cancel out? That's why.
Oh my gosh.
You
I
got
have
that?
it forever.
That's why I tell you, when there's 2 2s, don't break it down. You'll forget every time. I'm okay with it. You're just gonna get half credit. What?
I missed the freeze.
Yesterday.
Well, you know what? I'm over it.
Okay. I still got a missing test.
I know it's. I gotta miss it. Oh, that's what.
You never finished it.
It's over it.
You got it. I promise. You got this. It'll be a.
Did
you come to work for
The
me?
quiz. It's over.
However, one night isn't until later that night because after school.
All right,
stuff
genius.
done.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely gonna say it. Since the day is long.
All right, let's talk about the 5 types of reactions.
Over.
These notes?
Yep, these are notes. Now, those of you who are struggling to write word equations, you know where I'm at. Come get assistance.
If we can't stay after school, can we come bring lunch or something?
You can, normally
Hopefully, I'm.
Are you gonna be?
I'm like, what?
I bet you still have a reason.
I know, it was Thornhill and I was off. Usually I'm not, you know that. But anyway.
Are you in Thornfield business?
We've probably been, well, we've worked together for 27 years.
See,
That's not how you answer that.
I don't really have one.
You need to. That's very important to your school life.
That's like, I'm not
If you're giving
retired.
like a million hours,
Yeah,
you
Miss
might
Walton
as
is
well
a
make
basic.
sure-
You don't want nobody.
I would say we need to fix that attitude you got. We
Okay.
need to
Zay
fix
has a
it. We
business.
need to be in a positive mindset.
I am a positive mindset. I'm positive I'm gonna retire soon. Now, we're gonna learn to predict the products of reaction. Meaning I'm only gonna give you the left side of the arrow.
I thought it said.
You're going to have to figure out what's on the right side of the arrow. Okay? Okay, so for those of us who are struggling with word equations, things are about to go downhill rapidly. So if you're struggling, I will be here tomorrow and Thursday. Or excuse me, today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. The wrong day. I'm rolling the week back. All right, today and tomorrow.
Today too.
So the first type that we're going to learn about is called single displacement. Now, a lot of books call it single replacement. I learned displacement when I was in school, and so I often still refer to it as displacement. But a lot of texts call it replacement. It's one and the same. Depends on the author of the text. They call it displacement or replacement. I will use them interchangeably so you get used to the names. Now, if you would like to abbreviate, which a lot of you will, it's not an issue for me. I abbreviate all the time too. You may abbreviate it as SD. Okay, not S, because there's another type called synthesis, and we will abbreviate it S. Okay? Now, it will be an element plus a compound, and you will get an element plus a compound. Today is the 18th. All right, an element plus a compound, and you get an element plus a compound. Now, so why is it called displacement or replacement? It's called that because two elements are going to change places. All right, one of the elements in the compound is going to switch places with that singular element. They're just going to switch their places.
Is this still with single
It's
displacement?
all single displacement, the whole slide. And there are 5 of these that we're going to do. Now, as an example to illustrate that, here is a typical single displacement reaction. You will notice that Na is an element. We know this is an element how? How do you know this is an element?
Because it doesn't have any plus next to it, it's on the thing.
Okay. Also, as a shortcut for anybody who's confused by that, how many capitals does it have?
One.
It's only got one capital letter. Okay? This is a what? How do you know this is a compound? It's got 2 capital letters. What's this? It's a compound. And what's Mg? It's an element. Okay? Because it's only got one compound. Or sorry, one capital letter. All right, so we've got an element plus a compound, and we get an element plus a compound. It doesn't matter what order they're in. This does not have to be element first plus the compound last. Okay? The compound can be first plus the elements last. But the element and the compound have to be on the product side. So, on the reactant side, I have one element plus a compound. On the product side, I have a compound plus an element. So, that's what makes it a single displacement. Anybody want to take a shot and guess what 2 things switch places?
MG and NA.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the Na and the Mg switch places. If you don't get it and don't see it, it's A-okay. I was just merely asking. I'm going to teach you how to switch the 2 elements and how to figure it out. All right, I was just curious if anybody was able to figure it out. All right, does everybody have what they need?
No.
You there now?
Hold on, at the bottom. There.
Sorry for school and writing notes loaded up. You're on a roll.
On my bed.
Okay, I'm moving now.
Okay, so the second type is called double displacement. Or again, we can call it replacement. Double displacement or replacement. You can abbreviate it DD for its abbreviation. Now, it is going to be a compound plus a compound, and you will get a compound plus a compound. So this one is different from single in that you have no what? You have no elements. Everything will be compounds. There are no elements in this, right, Zyra? Come back to earth. Zoned out on me, write it down. Gonna need it. Now, because it's a replacement or displacement reaction, again, two elements have to change places. These are the only two reactions that things change places.
Oh, you said the only two reactions.
These are the only two that will have them change places. Yes, both of these change places. That's why they're called displacement or replacement. And they work the same way. So even if we don't get to double displacement today, it works the same way if we do it tomorrow. Once you know how to do one, you know how to do the other. The other three are completely different. All right, so as an example, just to illustrate double displacement, this would be double displacement. So I use something very similar. The only difference is this one is a compound, this one is a compound, and of course this one is a compound, and that one's a compound. Okay, can you see that they're all compounds because they have two capitals in them? Does that jump out at you? Okay. Now, if I asked you this time to tell me who changed places, who changed places this time? BR and CL is one answer you could give me. And A and MG is the other answer you could have given me. Either of those answers is correct.
But not both at the same time.
Depends on how you would have looked at it. Okay, either answer would have been correct. All right, we wait on Michaela.
I got it this time.
Okay, there are a couple other people writing.
Right. Neil on the spot.
So why were you late this morning?
I just see. It was a rough night. I woke up and then when we got out of bed, I'm just like, I'm not feeling it.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't want to ask my mom. I didn't really spoke to she was gonna worry, so I was just like, it's fine. I just woke up there.
Oh, okay. Did you live close by?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And people was running to get there. I was like, I'm not running. Right. And I smelled like that, you man.
Hot, sticky, it's drizzling outside.
Just drizzling?
Yeah.
Oh, funny drizzling when I got here.
Stand out.
All right, so synthesis. All right. Synthesis.
2 minutes.
All right. 2 minutes has the symbol of S. Okay. Yeah, Alec was really motivated by the 2 minutes.
I mean, you know, I was running.
All right.
Not today. I was through the courtyard.
I like your clasps on that thing.
Okay. It forms one compound. Now, because synthesis is going to form one compound, the way you recognize synthesis is there will be no plus sign on the right side. If there's only one compound, there's no plus sign on the right. Okay? You'll have an arrow and just one singular compound. There's no plus sign over there. So, this one
can have any combination of elements and compounds on the left. It doesn't matter what's on the left side, but on the right side, there's only one compound, okay? And again, there's no plus sign over here, okay? There's no plus sign right there. So we can have, and I wrote that with two different equations. I wrote the first one with some elements and the second one with some compounds, but I could write it with a combination of elements and compounds also. All right, but if you look at the two that I wrote, neither of them have a plus sign on the right. All right, we caught up? Okay. Hey, Dr. Kirk. You did, you came back. Is it where you're on? You remember where Miss Bostic was?
Yeah.
There.
So where's Miss Bostic?
She got moved to the middle school, and then she got a job closer in Gilbert County. She was driving an hour a day to get here. So I think she was up around McLeansville, but I know her drive was an hour each way. So I don't blame her. I wouldn't have driven that far either. All right. So the opposite of synthesis, all right? The opposite of synthesis is decomposition. Okay, that symbol is D. So it's just the opposite. So there will be no plus sign on the reactant side. So this time you have one compound that breaks apart. Okay? You have one compound, it breaks apart. So there is no plus sign on the left of the arrow. Okay? So there's no plus sign on the left of the arrow. You okay over there? All that dancing last night just wore you out.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I'm gonna know what any of this is until I practice it.
We're getting ready to.
Okay, because I'm
like, for some reason, Adobe Flash is on block on the bottom.
Dude, have you written this stuff down?
Yeah. Wait.
No. And then you're going to tell me to wait in just a second. Yes.
Okay, see, I don't get paid my mileage, like teachers that live like.
No.
Dang, that is ridiculous.
I'm gonna get a house right next to the school.
For real, because I know my mom gets paid for driving to the.
No, we do not get paid mileage treatment. The further you live away, the more you pay gas and mileage.
Never.
Why are you a teacher?
Honestly,
So much better.
Yes, honestly.
You get paid. You're so smart. You're so much better as well.
I don't really have a logical reason. I went to school on a teaching scholarship. My intent was never really to remain a teacher.
30 years later.
That's sort of really what happened. So when I had to choose a major, I chose chemistry. My degree is not in teaching. I actually have a chemistry major and a math minor. I got certified to teach, so I have a teaching certification. It's not a major. So my intent was to teach for 4 years, take my chemistry major and math minor, and leave the profession and go do something else with it. And I was just good at it, so I stayed.
That's an idea. Best friend. I'll be your school best friend. Please be best friend. You can tell me all of them.
So I just, literally 30 years later, I'm still here.
We're best friends.
This is not the area I grew up in. My family's on the East Coast. I just stayed in the area. I don't really have a valid reason.
So you live in Lexington?
I actually live in Davidson County. I live in West Davidson. If you've ever been to West Davidson, to the school, you're within a mile of my house.
You got a farm?
I do not have a farm.
You live in a village? Why?
Why?
That is so cool.
Do I look like I would farm?
They
People, I can't grow plants. What's
Why?
this thing about? Okay, I can't even give a tomato plant alive.
Me too.
What do you
I like
do?
I love.
Oh, yeah, it's safe now.
I don't know if I'd use the word cute to describe the house.
I don't like.
I
I don't know. I feel like it'd be cool to have a farm, but I don't like to get dirty or anything.
Oh, yeah.
I like to look at it. I don't
You got a farm?
Yeah, I like to look. Actually, I have a family.
You don't want to find
It's like
bars.
my great cousin. We have
You got animals?
we had a cow farm over 150.
You would. That's all. Sorry.
That's all right.
All right, does everybody have this? All right.
Milk, cheese.
I don't know what.
So, with decomposition, your compounds break apart. All right, you start with one compound, they decompose, they break down, just like it did in biology class. So if you start with one compound, it is going to split. Okay, so there will be no plus sign on the left of the arrow. One compound breaks into literally anything. It can be any combination of elements and compounds. All right, so I gave you two options there of what it can do. Now, the last one is my pet peeve when people get it wrong. I don't understand. I've never understood why people don't recognize this, and y'all will be no different.
Go.
Okay? Some of you will get it and get it right every time, and some of you will fall in the category of I don't understand it. And I will never understand why people don't understand it. Everybody got it? All right, so the last one is combustion. And its abbreviation is a C. Now, so far, everything that I've given you has been things like element, compound. They switch places. It has no plus, okay? This is the one that I'm going to tell you exactly what compounds and elements you have. All right, it's a hydrocarbon. A hydrocarbon is made of carbon and hydrogen, okay? That's why it's called a hydrocarbon. Hydrogen and carbon. You add what to it? Oxygen. And your two products are always what?
Carbon dioxide and water.
Always. Now,
Whatever.
it can't be carbon dioxide, water, and something else. It can't be only water and something else. It can't be carbon dioxide plus something else. It has to be only what two products?
Carbon dioxide and water.
That's it. It had to start with a hydrocarbon plus oxygen, and you have to get those two products. Now, examples of these. Notice the only thing that changes are the subscripts. None of the other letters change. It's a C and an H plus O2, which is how we write oxygen because it's one of the 7. And you get CO2 plus water. Sumatra, I'm going to make you pull a desk up here like I do somebody in second period so you can see better. What different color?
So it doesn't matter. The
It was black. Told you, you're going to be pulling the desk up here. That better?
Yes. When you were in college and you did chemistry stuff, did they let you mess with chemicals?
Yes.
Like good ones, like fun chemicals, like stuff that does stuff?
Yes, I had labs that went 3 to 4 hours
So
every.
like, was there any like dangerous chemicals?
That blew up?
Yeah.
They don't have to blow up, but you breathe it in.
Did anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anyone?
No,
Did
sorry, no
anyone
one
get
died.
acid burn?
No.
Did you make any acids?
All right, there I have it.
No.
Yeah.
I just ran out what.
Don't put that.
So it doesn't matter the subscript. If they-
Nope, subscription irrelevant.
Unless it's on the H2O.
Oh, wait, so whatever you put on that side, it doesn't matter, so it's always going to be talking about that. Okay.
All right.
Ew.
All right, you don't have to write all these down. I'm going to give you a worksheet with it a little long. So if we look at number 1, what can you tell me?
It doesn't have an element on the other side.
All right, so how many plus signs do you have?
None.
So what 2 can you automatically eliminate if there's only 1 plus sign?
Double displacement.
All right, so double displacement's out. Who else is out? Single displacement's out. Who else? Combustion. Okay, so that eliminates those 3. So you know, I'll use green. Can you see green, Sumatra?
Yeah.
All right, so single displacement, double displacement, and combustion are all out. Everybody good with that? Because there's only 1 plus sign. Those 3 require 2 plus signs. Is everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means we're either synthesis or decomposition.
Synthesis.
Are we forming something or are we breaking apart? We're forming. We have 1 compound on the right-hand side. There's no plus sign, so we're synthesis.
Yeah, we are.
All right, jump down to number 3. How many plus signs are we?
2.
I said jump down to number 3.
Oh.
2.
All right, there are 2 plus signs. So that means synthesis and decomposition are out. All right, so we're either single displacement, double displacement, or combustion.
Double displacement.
Now, do we form CO2 plus water?
No.
So that means combustion's out. Do we have an element plus a compound or 2 compounds?
2 compounds.
That's how we decide we're double displacement. You see how we did that? All right, you do 2, 4 through 8. Quickly.
And
You can write it on the side of your paper or something.
4 through 8.
Can we write it on the bottom so there are no?
Sure. Just so when I ask you in about 60 seconds, you can tell me real quick what the type is.
4.
You said 2, 4.
2 and then 4 through 8. The ones we didn't do.
You know what we are.
The ones we didn't do.
We are. I don't want to
Right.
say slow, but we kind of need extra.
We're tired?
instructions. Extra.
You're not getting extra time.
Right.
I'm not.
Which ones are we doing?
The ones we didn't do. People are still asking me which one. There's only like 5 up there.
It's okay, bro. Either done.
You're done.
Either done. Wait. I think it's on when I'm telling you.
All right, we ready?
No.
Me.
I'm still writing down.
Yes.
I told you not to write those things down. Number 2.
No. Wait.
D.
No.
D.
Wait.
How many plus signs do you have? You only have 1 plus sign. So it's either synthesis or decomposition. Is it breaking down or forming?
Decomposition.
Break it down. There's no plus sign on the right. Sorry, the left. Forgot the left from the right for a second there.
That's what I did too. That's why I was.
So it's decomposition. All right, number 4. Single. There's 2 plus signs. There's no CO2 plus water. So since there's no CO2 plus water, that takes out combustion. So we're either single or double. Do we have 2 compounds or an element in the compound?
Element compound.
That's why it's single. Number 5. Combustion. It says CO2 plus water. All right, number 6.
Double displacement.
Double displacement. 2 compounds on both sides. Number 7. Combustion. It's got CO2 plus water. And number 8.
Single displacement.
Single displacement. There's two plus signs.
and you got an element plus compound. Now, those of you who like our Serenity over here, copied all this down. Okay? I promise. So you have some samples to look at. All right. Let's talk about predicting products. Now, predicting products is the biggest set. What?
This go on a different seat.
This should go on a different. If you're one of those got to separate them, yes.
Is this a list of notes?
Yes.
Whoa,
We will be doing this for a couple days. We're only going to do single displacement today.
Is it hard? Is that what we're doing?
Well, we have to learn how to do it with all 5 types, then we got to mix it up.
Oh, yeah.
And then mix it up.
Did you have to take calculus in high school when you made chemistry?
I did AP calculus in high school.
Why did you do
The only F I ever made.
Oh, what about regular calculus?
We were on 6 weeks instead of quarters now. Got it in 1 6 weeks. I brought it up to a B by the end of the year, but
Would you have
I would have killed me. Huh?
Would you have to take calculus?
I took Calc 1, 2, and 3 in college.
In high school?
Did I have to take it in high school? No, I did not have to. I chose to. It was a school in the very northeast corner of the state. I told you I'm not from here.
Yeah, I forgot.
So, but even though that experience was absolutely brutal, ask me what I made in calculus in college.
Which made
An
it
A.
Calc 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
You made an A?
And Calc 1, 2, and 3.
How?
Where'd you go to school? No, like
I'm telling you, it was a brutal experience in high school. I would not ever want to put myself through AP calculus in high school again.
Where
But
did you go?
that woman killed me, but it paid off in college calculus.
Where did you go to college, Ms. Wall?
I went to UNCG. Now, I preface this by saying, and everybody looks at me like I'm a space cadet when I say this. I got into state, I got into East Carolina, I got into Chapel Hill, and I got into UNC Greensboro. I turned Chapel Hill down
Why?
because I got to UNCG on a full ride.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what you might pull right.
So I went where the money was. Okay? So when you're making those choices as a senior, my best advice to you, because when I went to school, it only cost around $20,000 in '87. It now costs about $80,000.
Hey.
Go where they offer you the most money. Okay? Now I know the dream is Chapel Hill. Okay? The dream is Chapel Hill. I know. Go where the money is. If someone will offer you more money, the education is the same. Okay? The degree is a BA, a BS, an MS, or an MA, whatever you want. Go where they will pay for it. You do not want to come out of school owing $40,000 or $50,000 that you have to pay back when you could go to a school for free if they will pay you to go. What? I enjoyed college tremendously, and I walked out debt-free. What? I didn't think it was all that stellar, but people from A&T would come over and eat our food and tell me it was much better, and I'm like,
Did you
dude.
eat at Yum Yum?
Yes. All right, moving on. We can talk about this another day. Predicting products. All right. So number 1. You spend a lot of time with your teacher. I lost track of the number of days I spent with that calculus teacher. Now, yes, ma'am. This is for single displacement. Yes, this is only single displacement. And the steps will actually be the same for single and double, and I'll tell you that tomorrow, but we are only doing single displacement right now. All right, so we have to look up the oxidation numbers. All right? Number 2, we're going to switch the elements with the same
sign. Okay? You can't quite get the minus in there without it looking jacked up. All right? It'll either be the positive or the negative. Okay? The numbers don't matter. We're switching the elements with the same sign. Number 3.
I'm so sorry with that.
I did that too. I'm so thankful I see that stupid.
On the product side, crisscross the oxidation number on the compound. Check if element is diatomic. So we talked about yesterday. And number 4, balance. And I wrote balance only because we've said all equations have to be balanced. Okay? But those are essentially the 3 steps, 1, 2, and 3. Now, the only thing that will change tomorrow with double displacement is will we have any elements that are diatomic? No, because everything will be compounds, so we'll just be crisscrossing everything. That's the only thing that's going to change tomorrow, is there'll be no elements for us to check for diatomics. Double displacement is actually the one on the test that everybody does the absolute best with.
You said double displacement?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because there's no place for people to mess up their diatomics in double displacement.
So our quiz is on this.
No, your quiz is not on this. Your quiz stopped with the 5 types.
Oh, okay.
So you'll have 5 questions. They're on types and word equations. So you have to translate them from words to symbols and balance. And tell me the type. All right, does everybody have it? Got the steps? All right. So, suppose I have aluminum, let me write it in symbols first, plus silver oxide. Suppose that's what we have. And that's all I give you.
Single.
All right. How did Allie know to go? Single displacement. With the head bob there. Like she knows what she's talking about.
Compound.
You're correct. Now, how'd she know that? What did you say, Saya? That's exactly right. Because remember, after a couple days of this, I'm going to intermingle them. On the test, they're all going to be intermingled. So, Zaya said it's a what plus a what? It's an element of compound. So as soon as you look at this on the test, in your head, you have to be able to say, this is an element, this is a compound. So that says single displacement in your head. Okay? That needs to process. Everybody good with that? Okay. So step 1 is to look up the what? Find the oxidation numbers. What's aluminum?
+3.
+3. And it's important to know the positives and the negatives because step 2 said we were going to do what? Switch the ones that are either positive or
Negative.
so this time I'm going to write the pluses and the minuses because I got to know who I'm switching. Okay? So silver is what? Okay. I need the something. +1. Oxygen is -2.
So
All right.
you always, does the one on the end always have to be the -1 if there's 3? Okay.
All right. So we're going to switch what? That are the same sign. Okay? So we're switching the same sign. Who has the same sign? The 2 positives or the 2 negatives?
2 positives.
All right, so we're switching the two positives. Now, I did not say put the two positives together. I said switch them, as in change their places. Sort of like you were dating them and now your best friend's dating. Okay, they switched places. I know it's bad for the friendship. Okay, so AG is going over here, and AL is now going over there. So AG is going to be where AL was, and AL is going to be over here. Now, what happened to the numbers? If you need to, go back over here with your steps and put in here, no subscripts cross the arrow, except, can anybody tell me what numbers can come across the arrow? Mm-mm.
2.
Nope, no coefficients. They have to be part of something. What kind of ions? There you go. Except polyatomic ions. So if you look up like sulfate and it says SO4, that 4 can go across. Nothing else. Okay? So no subscripts get to go across the arrow unless you're part of a polyatomic ion. So if you look on your blue sheet, if you look up your blue sheet and you see how it says, like, pick one. So, like, see how it says acetate, and it says C2H3O2, those little numbers right there, they can go across. But if it's not on there, it can't go across. See how it's got those little numbers? They can go across. Nobody else's can go across. Okay? So, when I go back to my question, can this 2 go across?
No.
So all I brought were the letters.
Wait, so that's the answer?
Not yet. All right, so now we're on step 3. Crisscross my compounds, check my elements. So this is an element. Is it one of the 7?
No.
It gets nothing. This is a what? What are we doing compounds? So what do we got to do? So what we got to do to do the crossing? Okay. So what's oxygen? So 2. And what's aluminum? So 2 comes down, 3 comes down. So if I rewrite this mess I have, Al plus Ag2O, Ag goes to Al2O3.
And since AG isn't one of those things, you don't do anything.
That's right. We didn't do anything to it because it's not one of the 7. So it doesn't have anything on it. So what do we want to balance first?
Oh, no.
I thought it was
You got to balance it. Got to balance it. Well, then you're going to lose points. So what are we going to do?
Oh.
No. I'm not taking the pen. You're going to lose points without balancing. All right, so how many?
3.
How many here?
Not 1.
So we're going to put
3.
how many AGs?
2.
6.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I
So we're going to put
Six.
how many ALs? 2. So we're going to put a what?
2.
Fabulous.
Oh, that's
Okay. You got it? Let's try another one. All right, let's do one with a polyatomic ion. And I'm just going to write +3 right there since I didn't write it in words, so you know which one we're doing. All right.
gonna do? What do we do first?
Identify.
Well, we know it's single displacement because that's all we're doing right now.
Oh.
So oxidation numbers.
What is that 3? Is that the oxidation number?
I'm telling you to use iron with a +3 because it has more than one and I didn't write it out in words. All right, so lead is what? Okay, when y'all look it up, it's going to have +2 and +4.
Yes.
How you going to know which one to use?
Plus two.
How you know that?
Oh, I just.
All right, what's nitrate?
-1.
Okay, and we've already said we're using iron as a +3. All right, so from there,
You have to switch. Oh, wait, I don't know which one you switch. Oh, the same
positive.
signs.
same signs. So who are we switching? Iron and lead. So Fe is cruising over here, and Pb is cruising over there. Now, let me show you something. Let's say you did this wrong. Tonight on your homework, you do it wrong. Don't write it down. And you write Fe, Pb. Can we have a +3 and a +2 together?
No, it has to be a negative.
It's got to be a positive with a negative. That's how you know you did it wrong. Okay? Can't put a positive and a negative together. Okay? Everybody with me on that? Elena, you cannot put two positives together or two negatives together. When you put oxidation numbers together, it has to be a positive and a negative. That's the rule. Whenever you write a formula, it has to be a positive oxidation number and a negative oxidation number. You cannot put two positives together. It's like when you put batteries in a machine. It has to be the positive terminal with a negative terminal. You cannot put the positive and a positive together. It doesn't work. Okay? So, Fe is going to be with NO3, and Pb is going to be by himself. Now, notice the only number that got to come across is the number that was what?
In the polyatomic.
In the polyatomic ion. That 3 gets to come across. The 2 does not. Now, when I finish, I have to deal with, not yet. The last thing is what she just said. Allie said oxidation number. So check your compound, check your element by itself before we balance. Make sure we don't need any numbers. Okay, Trevor? So this is a compound. So what do I need to do on all compounds? Crisscross. So Fe had what number?
3.
A 3. Nitrate is -1. Bring my 3 down. Lead is by itself. Is it one of the 7? No, so we don't do anything for it.
So let's write it out.
Okay? Now we would balance. Yes. All I did was take out all the crap we wrote on it in the arrows. Whoops, I wrote the wrong number.
Oh, Lord and Lordy. I said it in my head.
All right. I just copied it down wrong.
Oh, you like it with your 2. That was just
All right. So we need a 2 and a 3, so we're going to put a 3 there,
Okay.
and a 2 there makes 6, and a 3, and a 2. All right, let's do one more real quick. All right. All right. I just want to look at this one real quick. We won't even probably finish it. But let's at least identify the oxidation numbers because it's different. All right, what's K? All right, what's this oxidation number? I know it's K. All right, what's iodine? What's fluorine? It's got -1, +1, +3, +5, and +7. It's -1. I'm telling y'all now, all the ones that have these written here that are iodine, or fluorine, bromine, and iodine that have all those, we're only using the -1s this semester. Okay, we will not use all those positive oxidation numbers. So you're switching which 2 elements?
I and F.
So you're going to have K with F, and I will be by itself. So you switch oxidation numbers on K and F. They're both what numbers? Ones. So they do what to each other? And I's by itself, and it's an element. So what do you ask yourself?
Is it one of the?
Is it 1 to 7?
No. Yes.
You guess a 2.
C.
Okay? And you can balance that one on your own. All right, let's start homework real quick. Oh my God. All right, I gotta hand you 2 papers. Anybody willing to hand one out for me? Make it faster. Thank you, Michaela. The one that Michaela's handing you says types. On the one that Michaela's handing you that says types, do them all. Tell me the type. On the one I'm handing you, you're doing 1 through 4. Okay? The one I'm handing you, you're doing 1 through 4. You're predicting the product.
So that's okay. That's what we just did.
That's what we just did. Your quiz tomorrow only goes through telling types. You have to be able to do word equations, which was last night's homework, and tell types. Okay? The one Michaela's giving you is telling types.
And we do all of
And
it.
you all of 1 through 14.
Thank you. I know.
1 through 14 is telling types. 1 through 4 is predicting. Everybody got it?
Yes.
Fabulous. If you need help, need to make something up, I will be here this afternoon.
I might,